Welcome back. Today we're gonna make a really simple song. Good day and welcome back, good people. Today we're gonna make a 4-chord song as made famous by the Axis of Awesome. Click here. Now to make this song we're gonna need 4 things. First, a simple beat I've prepared. Then we're gonna use the built-in piano for the chord progression. Then we're gonna lay some bass. And finally, a simple melody on top. For the piano, we're going to need some simple chords that just can lay in the background and set the foundation for the song. But before we go any further, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. So there we go.
Okay, so first off, we're going to make the main chord progression with a piano. So let's go into Ableton and begin. Okay, so now I'm in Ableton, and what I've started off with is just creating the simple drum beat. So we have a drum beat here to begin with, just so that we have something to work off of. This sounds like this. Just a simple disco beat in 120 BPM. Now, what we want to do here is we're going to click on the left hand side thing over here that says instruments. Then we're going to go into where it says instrument rack and pull down this, and we're going to be looking for pianos and keys. I think the one that comes with Ableton is actually pretty good, so I'm going to be using the one that's called Grand Piano right here. And I'm going to take my grand piano, ooh, nice sound. And I'm going to take my grand piano and pull it into my second MIDI channel so it don't messes with this one over here. Now, as you can see, as I've talked about before, now we're going to be working with several of these. So we're not just going to have one, we're going to have a lot of these. Right now I have 2 audio. These come as default when you open a new session in Ableton. But we're not going to be using audio today, we're just going to be using MIDI. So I'm not really going to need these, but I'm going to show you how to remove them later. So let's start off with the grand piano. So first off, I want to create my MIDI clip, as I have told you before, we can see that it's record enabled because there's a circle right here, and we can see that it's enabled down here. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm going to double click this, and now would be a good time to talk about time, because we're going to do, we have 16 here right now. We're going to put this to 4. And we're also going to set this to, I believe we're going to be using 2 of these. Yeah, that one might work. First off, I'm going to put out an A minor. And I want to put a little disclaimer on this. I'm not very good at music theory. I have been playing for so long and I have no clue about music theory. So I'm just gonna put out the chords that I actually know, and we're gonna go from there. Okay? So first off, we're gonna use a minor chord. We're gonna start with A minor. It looks like this. And now you can see that we're in C3. And if we go below this, if I were to put out the basic root note on A right here, I'm going to get a lower note. But for now, I'm just going to be using the top ones over here. So if I click the play right now, I'm going to have this. So just a simple chord. So now I want the progression. I want it to go then and change there, and change there. Okay. So now I am just going to put out the other notes. And I'm going to lengthen the notes I already have. So what I do is I click my mouse button and I pull it down and I put this over here. And now I want some new notes. And we want it to go boom, 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 boom. So A, C, F, G. So now we want F. So now we want an F right here. So this is the basic note of F. I'm going to pull that one out. And we have boom, boom, boom. we pull this one out, and we pull this one out. So now we have. Now I want a C, and the C is up here. So the root note of this is a C. So we have a C, and we have an E. And we're going to have a G. I'm going to highlight all of these and pull this one out. And we have. And the final chord is going to be a G. And that's a G, a C, and a D. So now we have the basic structure of our 4-chord song. Very simple to begin with. Now, as I talked about, the best thing to do if you actually want to just check out all the sounds and how it likes. I like the piano sound because it gets me the clearest picture of how everything sounds. But if I want to have something else, I can highlight this, then right-click it, then go duplicate. And now I still have the grand piano. It's the same instrument. But I can choose between the other instruments right here. And if I, for instance, want a pad in the background, I'm going to get other sounds. And I prefer to use this one. It's pretty cool. Or maybe this. That's better. So I'm going to pull my creamy voices into this one. And now I'm going to get, instead of the piano, I'm going to have... Now, as you can hear, I have both the grand piano and the pad in the background. Okay, so that's it for piano. Let's go for bass.
And for the bass, we're just going to do something really simple this time. We're going to put the bass notes of each chord in the background, just to make it a little more thumpy.
Okay, so for the bass, I'm going to be using a really simple kind of bass. I'm still in instruments over here. I've still clicked the instrument rack. And as you can see, we're going to have a folder that's called bass. And we're going to find something that suits this, just for a simple bass line in the background that just highlights the root notes of the chords, so that we get a little bottom to our chords. And I found this one. I think we're going to use this one because this is simple enough. Yep, so that's good. Now, as you can see, I don't have another MIDI channel. I have audio channels, and if I were to pull this into an audio channel, you would see that it doesn't work. So I can do two things. Either I can right-click and just insert a MIDI track, or I can take the instrument and pull it over here instead, so that it creates its own one. If I want to move this over, I just take it up here and then I pull it over here. So now it's next to my other instruments. And I know I'm not going to be using the audio ones, so I'm just going to remove them by right-clicking and selecting delete. So I don't really need these ones. So now, same thing, we have our circle, we have our record enabled, we double-click this, and we know that we want the length of this to be 2. And we want to use a quarter note, and we had A, F, C, and G. So we're just going to make sure that this is highlighted, little button up here, so that we can listen to them. So that works. Now the octave of this is depending on what you actually like. That's up to you. I'm going to be working around C2, C1 over here. You can try them around, put them lower or put them higher or whatever you prefer. Now I realized I have got this one up here, and I'm going to be putting them out here. So first I know I had an A, just the root note. Then I know I have an F. Pull this out. And I know I have a C. Pull this out. And then I know I have the G over here. So now if I play everything, I'm gonna have this, and I can play everything by playing the little button over here, the little triangle over here. And now I'm realizing this is a bit too high for me. So I'm going to be highlighting all of this, and I'm going to take the first root note and I'm going to pull it down to the lower A instead. So it sounds like this. Now, bass is pretty fun to play with because you can make all kinds of bass lines, and that's just use your imagination and use your fantasy of what kind of bass you actually want. I'm just going to be showing you the simple version of the bass right now. So for now we have simple enough, right? Or solo it by clicking the S down here. Kind of cool, huh? So let's go do a simple melody.
The melody is going to sit on top of everything. That's what creates the identity of your song. And that's the part of the song people are going to remember after finishing listening to it.
Okay, so for the last section, we're going to make a melody on top of this. I thought that maybe we should try and make some kind of EDM thing that sounds like some cool synths or something on top of everything. I'm still in instruments, and I'm still on instrument rack, and I've come down to synth lead. So I found this one. Kind of cool. I take what's called a Kinder or Kinder Bud lead, and I pull this into my MIDI, and now I'm going to do the same thing. Have a circle right here. This is enabled. Double click, set the length to 2, and I think I want to be using 8ths this time. And I'm going to start. That's a bit too low. I think I'm going to start on C4 this time. So I put out one note. Let's listen to that. That's pretty nice. And I'm gonna put another one up here, I think. Now I'm just making a really simple melody up here. So the melody is for you to whatever you can come up with and make something cool of it. I'm going to put this on G, and I'm going to put this on another C up here. So now we go in a full octave, C to C. And we're going to come back down again by going. Do the same thing, but backwards. And we're going to finish off by adding the A up here. Now let's listen to this. Sounds kind of cool, actually. If I play around with this for a while, I know at least I have the root or the melody notes I want to use, but I can put this in different rhythm orders. I can delay some of them. I can put some effects on these, but I have a pretty cool melody. So the basic thing we have right now is this. So that's it for a simple melody, and now we have the structure of our song.
So that's it for today. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. I really want to know what you guys want to learn in the future. So I will see you next time. Bye.